As Justin, as you said, I could do the trial. I'm not doing it. I'm gonna save that up. Maybe 5 parts if you count the after trial. If I do something outside of just the after trial, then yeah, that'll probably be a part 5. But yeah, depends on what you count as a part. I count parts as when you see the 2 continued or conclusion stuff. If it's all together in one part without seeing the 2 be continued, then that is like that is still a part. Because like again, I could like say the whole Shamspear thing could be like another part, being like the first part be like talk to Olive Green, then the second part be like Shamspire, and then all that investigation. Third part will be Soseki-san and etc. Now it's like yeah, sometimes some these exams take some time too. I mean that again, like that is also a thing, but as long as it's within a to be continued / to be concluded or like section and stuff like that, that's all in one part kind of to me, at least in my books. So yeah, interesting part. Somewhere in this story is where we will see more of what we're missing. So I'll tune you next time. In the next 3 months from now, we'll play part 2 of this game, of this case. Justin, you better not be knee deep into Persona 3 when I play it next time. I can't wait for 3. Hey, if it's 3 months, you got plenty of time to finish whatever you need to do. Your games, and all that stuff. Hey, 3 months is plenty of time for you to finish at least one game. I don't think you're going to finish up Persona 3. Even if you were to just play Persona 3 the entire time, knowing you, I don't think it's going to be, you're going to be finishing it within 3 months. You're going to take like a few months at least. And that's like constant of play, like constantly playing. Finish the game this game in 2026. Hey, that's fine by me. Your next longest one. Oh man, my quarterly GAA streams. I mean, again, I'll try to play this more often. I still need to play more Secret of Mana too. Like, I've been trying to finish up some of the extra stuff. Like, I know Bloody Chaplain and Pico Park are very close to being done. And once I get that stuff done, and then Dragon Warrior Monsters and the Dark Prince, I need to finish up those. I do want to get into some of the more request games because there's a few request games, yeah. Yeah, I need to get the request games done because I actually have a decent list of request games now. And I'm going to aim to finish up 4 of them this year. The longest is definitely being Cyber Sleuth. Octo Travel is the next longest one, and I don't think I'm going to be finishing that this year. That was requested by Skull, and that's going to take a long time. It's going to be Octopath Travel and Kingdom Farts 2, as Kyle said. Those are not going to be, like, those are going to be long games. I will tell you that. I will need to binge those in order to finish them on the good basis. Even takes a couple hours typically. Oof. Yeah, like again, I got Sonic Heroes, which I'm planning to get started very, very soon because that's been on the hold for a long time. Then there's Cyber Sleuth, which I'm gonna be starting. I know that's a decently long game, but I know that can be done in like probably like in a decent manner. It's not the longest of games, but I'm pretty sure it's grindy as heck, is what I can tell. So we will see how that goes. And then I know that BioShock is a first-person shooter. It's going to be pretty short. And then Attack of the Power Juju, that was requested by Emoto. So I'm going to aim for finishing up those 4 request games so that I can push on the Octopath Traveler to either later this year to next year. And knowing me, I'll probably try to play all the story. I mean, just you beat Octopath Traveler, right? I'm pretty certain you beat Octopath, and it's gonna be a decently lengthy game. Nope, I have had it for years, been wanting to play it, and I just never got around to it. I played like probably like 2 hours of it. That's it. I know Octopath Traveler 2 is one I'm gonna get on Switch at some point too. But Octopath is not gonna be played anytime soon, only because I'm focusing on the older requests first. The older requests get more priority than anything. I mean, technically speaking, I am playing one request, which is Dragon Warrior Monsters. That unfortunately got resetted like 4 different times. So it's unfortunately a lot longer than it actually should have been. But we'll see how that goes. And yeah, Dark Prince is still going through. I think I should be able to finish it within the next couple months, as long as things go relatively well. And then I know like Bloody Chaplain 2 and Pico Park, I know that can be done with as long as I get like 4 other people to play. Because Pico Park is like, I just get like 3 other people to play, and I know that Chris saying Jamie would love that. So I'm waiting on her to hopefully play that, including Overcooked 2. But yeah, Bloody Chaplain 2, I'm literally almost done with that, and I need to finish up Secret of Mana. I stopped that briefly. I played a few hours of it, and I know I beat like the first, I think, major boss. I got all the party members, I believe. So now I just need to I need the rest of it and then get through it. Yeah, so like I got a few things to go through, and I know Sword Tour is my only MMO game. I'm trying to focus on trying to beat it so I can get Fusion Fall. So yeah, there's quite a bit of games that are in the process and like in a sense are already at the tail end. I just need to get them done. But yeah, as with Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, I think that's the only one that's going to be lengthy, just because of just how much dialogue I read, and each session are going to be like 3 to 4 hours, really. So I'm trying. We'll see how often I stream them games and all that stuff. Again, I don't think, Justin, you're going to be available anyway for a lot of it. Especially since, like, 1, P3 is coming out, and 2, you even said you're going on vacations and doing all that stuff. So I'm pretty sure you're fine with me just playing it whenever I can, right? Like, I think that's what you mentioned to me. Nope, I have tried it and beat 5 to 10 hours, got bored of combat and gameplay. I heard the second one's much better stuff. I heard the second one is much better too. I might try in the future. Bravely Second too. I mean, I gave you a chance for Bravely Second, yeah. Such dumb naming conventions. Yep. I mean, standard Chinese weekend trip for a couple days. I mean, I'm just asking if I could just like binge it a little bit, because I know that if people want me to make time, absolutely. Like, that's the thing, is like, that's why I message you sometimes at night, just being like, are you available? Because like, I'll be like, I am feeling to do it, and I know you are sometimes up during this time. That's why I was just like, when I message you on Discord, just be like, that's when it's like on during streams and stuff like that. That's what be a lot of times it'd be like, are you available for Great Ace Attorney right then and there? So that's a lot of times. That's why I ooh, my monitor I turned off. Oh no. Oh no, my computer is being angry right now. Dude, I'm always up at this time specifically. I know that, but that's why I'm saying, like, when I message you or even like maybe text you at this time, or like obviously before midnight and stuff like that, and just be like, are you available? And that's a lot of time. It's just gonna be like, are you available for Great Ace Attorney? Because I know you like it, so you want to be there. It's like, that's when it's like, it's usually gonna be a day of, because I have a lot of things of this. Like, same thing with what I did today. That's why I asked, like, when I feel like playing it, I will let you know. But if you don't message me back, I generally don't play it in that sense, because I also don't know if you are gonna be wanting to commit that night or whatnot. To be honest, I miss National Park. Again, this is what, like, actually, Justin, this is a straight up like 4chan post, so take this with an absolute grain of salt. But apparently there was like rumors for the next Pokemon Direct, like the next Pokemon games. So rumor has it that when the Switch 2 comes out, Scarlet and Violet are gonna have an updated game with DLC, new DLC, like with all the DLC with it. And personally, I'm all for it for two reasons. One is they're giving an updated version for Scarlet Violet, which I believe Scarlet Violet deserves a lot more likes. I get it that it's a buggy mess, and I don't deny it. But I think it deserves a lot more likes for what its creativity is, because it does a lot of stuff. Like, yeah, it's still Pokemon, the basic game, but it does a lot more to the formula. And if it was just a lot less buggy, and then it was like even Sword and Shield's like smoothness, like even Sword and Shield was pretty smooth, even its like lack of graphics. If it was Sword and Shield standard, I think a lot of people would love it as like one of the best games Game Freak came out in recent years, kind of thing. Because again, I like the story of it and I like the creativity. It's just the buggy mess is all the people have a hard time getting rid of. The second reason is that it would hopefully delay Gen 10 longer, because I don't want Scarlet and Violet at this point. Yeah, they're a little more than a year old, and I'm just like, if they delay Gen 10 for at least another year, that means they have more development time to polish Gen 10. So I would be more than happy with that. So if it's updated version for Scarlet and Violet for Switch 2, I will be more than okay for them selling that at like whatever price. Not gonna be happy for $60, but still, it's one of those things. It's like it'd be a lot better. The other thing is that apparently there is another Arceus type game where it's gonna be set in Kanto/Johto. So I was like, that's interesting. That is very interesting. I forget what the other post says about supposed leaks, but we'll see if any of those posts are true to even like warrant it. But if it is true, I'm honestly all for a lot of those announcements. So, hey, you might get a perfect Pokemon game for once. That's fine. Don't set your expectations high at all. Like I'll honestly want to be surprised too. Yeah, like again, it sounds good. And again, if it's just the biggest announcement is updated Scarlet and like a new Pokemon Arceus game and like a couple other things like minor and not like Gen 10, I consider that a big win on Pokemon. Like straight up. I don't care. I do not want another Gen 10. I don't want a generation until like the announcement of next year, which then will give like 4 years of development is what I say. Again, 4 or 5 years of development for each generation. I am more than happy to wait 4 or 5 years per generation. I think it would be plenty of time because they pushed the remake of Diamond and Pearl to also the remake, like also the Arceus at such rushed hours, and it once Scarlet came out, they lost attention fast. Well, Diamond for sure, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl literally lost attention once Arceus came out, and Arceus lost attention as soon as Scarlet came out. Yeah, that's why it's like, if they give like 4 or 5 years of generation, 1 year, oh, you could do one remake. That's the Pokemon game of the year. I'm totally fine. Even if a game I don't absolutely care about or something like that, I'm fine. If it's like, and then second time, it's just like maybe a different, like, unique entry, like canon spin-off kind of thing, like Arceus did. And then, or like, even like a Pokemon Rumble, even a Pokemon like Rush, like even something completely random like that as the main Pokemon game or games of that year, and it's not a generation. Again, I would be 100% supporting it. I don't care. As long as you give more time for the next generations. That's literally all I care about. But again, I don't work at Game Freak. I don't make the decisions, so I can't say. Mr. Gen Remake would be was the most surprising thing. That was a little bit. Honestly, I would be more down to see more spin-offs for Pokemon games. Again, they really should fix a lot of the Mystery Dungeon aspects. Again, like after playing Super Mystery Dungeon and Explorers of the Sky. I like the concept, but the execution needs to be fixed. The gameplay really has not aged well. I really try to like Sky, and I do like it for the most part, like 60% at least of it. But when it gets to like battling, especially when I got to the post-game dungeons, like the very last 2-3 of them, I absolutely just got livid. So yeah, I cannot see myself liking any other mystery dungeon game, because I played Super, which at the time, well, there's also DX, but I'm not 100% certain about DXs, and if they haven't fixed any of the issues, I don't think I will like it. Like, Super was like, had a lot of the quality of life I enjoyed, and that still frustrated me with magnitude and all that stuff. And then going back to Sky, I had to get used to like some quality of life stuff, and made it even worse supporting a lot of that stuff. Like, I honestly, I really cannot find myself liking any other mystery dungeon game until they fix a lot of the gameplay issues. And until they do, I don't think I'll ever really want to play another mystery dungeon game. I'll collect them, but I don't think I'll really ever enjoy another one. Especially playing like the original on the GBA. I don't think I'll ever like that, ever. I think at this point, I'll probably hate it to a point where I think it's like one of the worst games I've ever played, and that's like not fair because it was such a cool concept and it's such a first entry game. So I'm just like, I don't want to ruin my aspect of Mystery Dungeon any more than it should be. I really don't. Until Nintendo and Game Freak fixes all that stuff, gotta keep the hoping. And like, again, like, I want more Pokemon games to explore different aspects, like Pokemon racing game. You can have more Pokemon herding game, like Pokemon Ranch. Like, again, I don't care what Nintendo does. They can give more Let's Go games to every single generation. At that point, I'm just like, you're just making more for the casual fans. I'm just more of like, as long as you give each generation a gap, like a long gap. I think I speak for most people on this regard. Like, I really don't see a need to get every 2-3 years of Pokemon games. Like, Chunsoft is releasing dungeon type game. Not sure if it's similar gameplay with Pokemon, but I'm curious if it's improved since. Not sure. I don't think I'll get it fully. I think there's other games I want to try to get, really. I also want to play more. There's that. Yeah, there's like a lot of other games that I want to play, and it's like still within, again, with my collection back there. Like, yeah, there's a few games there I want to play on, and I got them recently. And heck, I own Pokemon Conquest. I don't have it in my possession anymore because I just shipped it over to Chris and Jamie, and now Chris and Jamie have my Pokemon Conquest game, which I do want to know how that is later. Jamie took my Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 2 and my Dragon Quest V DS game, which, by the way, those are all complete packages. And I know that Dragon Quest V is like really popular, and that game, I got it like before it got super inflated. It's like I get like over $100 to $200. It's like I sent them basically $400 worth of games in that one little box I gave them. I haven't played Conquest. I've literally had that game before it got super inflated. I think I bought it for like $60 or something like that, 60, 70, and maybe 80 pushing it. But I got that and I was just like, oh, I got it, cool. Never touched it again after I got it. I was like, I was planning on playing it at some point, but I never played it. I'm interested in trying it. And if you wanted to try it, go for it. But at the current moment, I don't have it in my possession because Chris is the one wanting to play it, so I lended him my copy. I'm interested to see what it's like. I mean, I'm willing to try games. There are games that genuinely surprise me, and there's games that just flat out just be meh. I feel like it's better than Mystery Dungeon. Like, to be honest, though, I think, in all actual honesty, Justin, I think I'll have more fun / easier time in any other Pokemon spin-off game than Mystery Dungeon. I mean, there's other ones like Hey Pikachu and stuff like that, but I also feel like that's just the fun of the experience of just like having Pikachu not understand what you say. Pokemon 2 experience. Nah, Pokemon 2. It was too difficult. Obviously, it didn't let me beat the Coliseum easily without spending my berries, because I didn't want to spend my berries. Bad game. Terrible decision making. I wanted to go in naked. More naked than I was. I mean, I have Pokepark 1. You know what's funny? It's like, you got me Pokepark 1, but I don't have 2 still. I find that funny. But yeah, there's like, and I still need to play Pokemon X and Y on stream, because that is literally the last generation I have yet to play on in any of my experiences. Like, I played 1 and 2 and 2. I played 3 on stream, but I watched the whole entire playthrough. I played 4 on my own. I played 5 on stream, both Black and Black 2, and then I played Sun and Moon on my own, which I kind of feel like I want to replay Sun and Moon, like in terms of like an Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, because there's a lot of that game like I kind of just sped through. And then Gen 8 is Sword and Shield, which I still haven't played the DLC, which I want to at least do a little bit. I beat Arceus and I beat Scarlet, which I still need to do post and DLC, so there's that. Because, like, here's the thing. The reason why I also say I wanted to give Moon and Sun and Moon another shot, especially like Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun, because I know that my brother defends Sun and Moon in terms of specifically Sun and Moon, not Ultra Moon and Ultra Sun, because the story there actually gives it a little bit more personal meaning than some of the recent games. Like, he says that they are a lot more, like, the characters, especially Lilith, has a lot more like growth to them. So it's like, I may have just not liked Sun and Moon just because I was rushing through it, some parts of it. So I just want to give it another shot, personally. And I do want to try Ultra Moon just to try the post game, which is, like, I heard is really, really good. But the only reason my brother doesn't like Ultra Moon is because they toned down Lilith's, like, contributions a lot. So that's the reason why. So I don't know. I'll give Gen 7 another shot because my brother still defends it in some ways. Like, again, that's not 100% ways. Like, he admits that there's some faults with it. And it did try to change up the formula a little bit with Sun and Moon. So again, I could be wrong about certain things. So, and my opinions can change. So yeah, we will see how that goes. Yeah, Gen 5 and 7, yeah. I mean, I would argue, like, at least, well, yeah, Gen 5 and 7 were, like, the most experimental, and I think Gen 8 and 9 are kind of the more, we have a better idea where we want to go in the direction of Pokemon. Like, yeah, Gen 5 and 7 were definitely, like, the more transitional experimental period. And And then we got Gen 8, which is still our current format. Yeah, again, like, I think Gen 8 and Gen 9 are very much we have an idea where we want to go formula-wise, which, again, it's not the worst idea. I think I support the idea because I like the more open-ish exploring world, kind of going with your own way, path chooses and stuff like that. So I'm open to it. It's just they still need to polish a lot of things. And again, Arceus is there. Like, you know what's funny, Justin? I was looking online about people defending Arceus, and it was like between Sword Shield, Scarlet, and Arceus, all of them are liked in their own rights. They all have lackluster parts. Like, I think Sword and Shield, there was like this picture about it, and I don't remember exactly what they said for Sword and Shield, but I believe that it said like it was solid for I think it was solid for like the gameplay and like it was solid for like a lot of the gameplay and mechanics, but it was lackluster in a lot of the content. I think it was like that, which I can see if that's the case, because like really the only thing really in Gen 8 that was really like outside of the story and characters really was like Dynamax doesn't really feel like a great like gimmicky thing. It's just a gianter Pokemon, and the but it was the wild area that was really fun. That's the really thing I say that's the identity of Gen 8 outside of anything else. Scarlet and Violet has so many good ideas with like the choosing where you want to go per se, because outside of like the levels, going exploring everywhere, being open world, it's super glitchy. Yeah, there's raid battles too, but then Scarlet and Violet also has the raid battles. We did get Chubby Pikachu again, which is true. Yeah, like Scarlet and Violet, and also like I also argue with this in terms of story, because my brother likes story of 7, and in terms of the story, because like Gen 1 through 4 are kind of like its own sets, like classic stories. Honestly, at that point, I think like at some point I kind of feel like Gen 3 out of all the stories, specifically in the first 4, I feel like I don't like Gen 3 story out of the first 4. Gen 4 was like literally worldwide and felt really threatening. Gen 1 and Gen 2 were just a generation of like fighting mafia. It was a Mimi team, yeah. So that's positive. Yeah, and like, but Gen 5 had like a complex story, and that's fine, but it's like, to me, that story was like, it was just more of like the experience and journey, and like not bad thing, but it was like very complex, and it was just kind of like a TV show or movie kind of thing, where Gen 7 focusing solely more on the character interaction growth, and that's what they try to do with Gen 7 did a lot more of that with like Lilith and stuff especially, and then Gen 8 also played on that with Hop, especially with Hop, like going from a depression, like going from happy to depression to actually accepting kind of thing. And but Gen 9 Scarlet and Violet, I like it the most because it creates a more relatable aspect. Like, you see yourself with a lot of these characters, you understand them because you kind of around the same age in terms of in some cases, obviously we're too old, but it gives a childlike understanding, and you go on this journey with them of growth. Like, I guess I see like you get to see like the characters of 7 and 8 where you see them as characters, but they're just like mainly focusing on their growth. But with Gen 9, it kind of feels like you're growing with them. So it's kind of like a relatable story, is what I would say. And I like Gen 9. I really do. I really like the ending of Gen 9. And so that's why I was like, I will support Gen 9. Outside of the bugs, it's actually a fun game. Gen 4 is a serious team with commanders, then got them in Heart Gold, Soul Silver for a remake. Yeah. and like again, like and like the story are there and all that. So yeah, like, and I also was gonna say this, like with Arceus, I see some people also are either in two boats, like mainly two boats. They either really like the game or they really don't like the game, and they find it boring, which I can see why. Because like Arceus was a really good step in changing up the formula a lot, giving a idea, but a lot of people don't like that repetitive nature or walking around slow combat and stuff like that. I think it's the issue is just like it gets repetitive when you just try to catch Pokemon, running away, going in, going away, going in, going away, going in, going in, run, and all that stuff. I can see it. It's a lot more of an exploration and like trying all that stuff, and it can get repetitive when you're trying to actually 100% the Pokédex. I've 100% enough of the Pokédex that I care about of that game. I am not 100%ing it 100%ing it. I 100% it to my level of 100%ing. And yeah, the gameplay can be repetitive, but the ideas, just like Scarlet and Violet, are really solid. So if they make a sequel to that, which they have to at this point, because based on the reception of and likeness of it, if they make it into like another region and something similar to that, I would just be like 100% down. They improve a lot of the other stuff that I was complaining about it. 100% down, 100% down. I'll get it day one and want to play it, because again, I actually, when I pushed myself to actually play it, I actually enjoyed it a lot, which Justin, you have seen some of my aspects of it. Like the last battle with the final boss, that was very much the hardest one. I was like, that's also like, not that was like the final boss. Like I was also thinking about like the final boss, final like Pokemon battle, like the actual Pokemon battle. I was like, I remember trying it, and I know I used some items in it, but I know that it was one of those battles that had a phase 2. Like when I was battling, it's like, this is too easy. Like I played enough games when it was like, you can guess what is the what's gonna be the next phases and stuff like that. So yeah. Anyway, I'm done with my talks and rants. So I don't want to say rants, but I was just like my talks, and I will say that as like, I hope that next month with Pokemon Day, I believe that's 27th. Not too much, right? Yeah, it's not too much ranting. I was like, again, I like Pokemon, and I really hope that Pokemon Company does well. So Pokemon Day is the 27th, and they're gonna have like a stream of that on the 27th. I don't think I'm gonna be streaming. I don't think I'm ever gonna be streaming on the 27th, but I might just do like something else. But I will be talking about it. Like, again, I want to like here's my thing. I defend developers and the creativity. They have the capabilities of it. It's just a lot of the management and stuff and decision making is not within their grasps, and that's where I'm just like, people need to understand that too. So it's not like everyone's fault, but I really hope that Pokemon comes out with games. Like, again, it just my one and only request. My one and only request. Like, even if all the other announcements of that like leak were false, like I'd say like every other thing was false. The only one thing I want true is that they don't announce Gen 10. That's the only thing I don't want to announce. Because if they don't announce Gen 10, that pretty much guarantees that Gen 10 is not coming out this year. They can announce it next year, which may come out next year to maybe 2026. And I just want it to be pushed. as long as possible because I don't want another generation yet. Oh man, Lavender Town music. That definitely freaked me out as a kid when I always avoid playing, like getting to the town and avoid like listening to any of the music. It was just freaky. But yeah, I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Everyone, great rest of the night. Hope everyone stays safe. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not gonna be streaming D&D. I don't know if I'll be streaming anything tomorrow. I know that I want to try playing some board games tomorrow, but that requires people to have Tabletop Simulator, because there's a couple games that I think that are actually pretty fun to do on Steam when we can't meet it physically. Just as a heads up, I'll take a crappy game if that at least gives license to cook, and I can tell they put action in the game. Like I think you can even see in Scarlet and Violet, outside of the bugginess, they could put a lot of passion to that. I can tell that they put a lot of ideas and stuff like that into it. So I will say that. But yeah, I'll take a random crappy Pokemon game. I'll take a Pokemon Dash 2. I'll take a Pokemon Dash 2 any day. Or no, better yet, I'll take a multiplayer Pokemon Rumble. Like, I know that failed like a lot of things. I think like a Pokemon Rumble, if it's like multiplayer, I'll just be like, Justin, let's get Pokemon Rumble and just play the heck out of that until Generation 10 comes out. I'll wholeheartedly just do that if they don't announce Gen 10. I want to kick back after Engage sometime this year, and I'll be there to help you watch you play too, because again, I genuinely do like Scarlet and Violet's story. It doesn't get enough credit, and it's only plagued by a lot of people's complaint about the gameplay. Again, like, valid complaints, but I also feel like it's just unfortunate that it's the main cause of why a lot of people just don't like to play or want to finish Scarlet and Violet. Because it really does get more interesting when you get to the end of the game. So, yeah. I need to play Engage, but I need to play Three Houses first. I need to look at my list again of games that I need to actually focus on play. Alright, I'm on such a weird list right now. Ugh. Origami King was a nice music game. I'm glad I actually finished that. It's not the best Paper Mario game, but I think what their direction for Origami King was actually kind of a good direction. Outside of like the battles being not optimal for most fights. No, I think Origami King is actually a really good step. Distracted by Xenoblade and Star Rail. Yeah. Wait, did he actually stop playing Engage recently? Like, he actually stopped playing, or is he actually just gonna be like? I think I haven't seen him actually play Engaged recently. I've been really trying to get into Xenoblade. I've been trying to pick it up here and there, but I think it's just the gameplay at this point that is just getting to me. I don't know why. I mean, I played Xenoblade 2. That's the thing. But I think I lost my momentum heavily with Xenoblade games. Wrong, it's going after me. I mean, that's good. Like, again, I wanted to support him on Xenoblade 3 streams. I actually did want to watch and like commentate over Xenoblade 3, but because I'm so far behind on Xenoblade 3, I just could not join any calls or streams because I know it's like I'm going heavy spoiler territory in every possible way. Yeah, I'll still try to find ways to push myself to play Xenoblade 3. I finally beat Shining Pearl, so there's that. I need to log and finish up a lot of the games. Yeah, there's like a few games I know that I have yet to finish play. And I need to play it on my PS5 and PlayStation and Xbox. But if you hit how far did you get Xeno 3 Ultimate? Not Chapter 3, I can guarantee you that. Trying to get to a destination. After being together for just so little time. It's such early on thing. Like I kept picking up, dropping it, picking up, dropping it. Them going into it wasn't Mio actually slowly dying and they'd be like, what the? And they all pool party there and be like, oh yeah. I know like there was like that one scene with Mio just like slowly dying of heat and me like, I'm so tired. I'm somewhere in 2, yeah. Again, like I've been picking it up on and off, but it's just been dragging. I think at this point, I feel like Xenoblade may be a game series that I can't just play easily. I'll support it, but I think it's a lot better game for me to just watch for a lot of reasons. I still want to try to play Xenoblade X. There's also that, which is also why I've been wanting to try to stream it. I want to make sure that I can... everything on X can be streamed on Twitch because I do want to show any gamepad screens, which has also been one of my goals to try to find a gamepad capture card, which has been so annoying to deal with. Like, there's a lot of things I want to get capture cards, but at this point I need to ask someone who knows circuitry well to make a custom for me because there's no other people that will make one. It sucks. If I got a gamepad capture card, I would totally play a lot of gamepad screens. Like a lot of gamepad like games. Like I would actually do that for some games like Zombie U and stuff like that because I would think it would be really cool. But you know what? Let's call it there. It's getting late, so we should get some rest. I mean, I'll be up for... I don't know if I'll be up for too much longer, but we'll see. I might just lay down, but I need to get some rest. So you do it. Are you actually looking how long? I was not expecting Pokemon Talk. I was not expecting Pokemon Talk too, but it was also like... Why did we get on Pokemon Talk anyway? Ah, Pokemon Day. Like again, like I'll see what Pokemon is. I'll support Pokemon because again, I grew up with the series. It's literally Pokemon Red was like this. I consider the game that got me into video games in general. So yeah, I'll support it till the day I die or Pokemon dies, which I don't think ever will happen. Even if Pokemon's this mediocre games, people will still buy it. But yeah. All right. Well, I said my goodbyes. So yeah, I will raid Mdun. He's playing some Scarlet. He's doing more shiny hunting. I forget that sea creature's name. That whatever. I don't know what it is. I don't know that Pokemon. I still need to remember my generation ones. I think that is a generation. Seahorse Pokemon. I think that is Generation 9. I don't know, Pokemon. Justin's more of a Pokemon nerd, and I'll clearly put him under the bus for all his nerdiness. Because that's what I can do. That's what a great friend I am. Bruh. This is what you get. I will throw you under the bus. If there's a Pokemon multiplayer game and I have to pick a Pokemon versus a friend, I'll pick a Pokemon. Bruh. Alright, well, anyway, thanks for the talk, Justin. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for everyone who's been lurking, and thanks for everyone who dropped by. Hope everyone have a great rest of your weekend, weekday, or whatever. Happy good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and everyone take it easy. I hope to catch you guys later on the Livestream board, mine or someone else's. Still wondering if you ever want to do a Soul Link with me. You know what's funny enough is that I was actually talking a Soul Link with Chris too, who's also interested in. I wonder if we can do a 3-way Soul Link. You know, that's an idea we can talk about later. Anyway, goodbye everyone. Thanks for hanging, and I'll catch you guys later for sure. Ciao, ciao.